Welcome to A Christmas Story with me, Big Al. It's a small story about Santa visiting North Wales on Christmas Eve and delivering all the presents and all the sights he sees along his way. This time, Santa is coming to North Wales, written by Steve Smallman. The story starts at Santa's grotto. "Well," boomed Santa, "have all the children from North Wales been good this year?" "Well, mostly," answered the little old elf, as he bustled across the busy workshop to Santa's desk. Santa peered down at the elf from behind the tall, teetering piles of letters that children from North Wales had sent him. "Mostly?" asked Santa, looking over the top of his glasses. "Yes, but they've all been especially good in the last few days," said the elf. "Jolly good," chuckled Santa. "Then we'd better get their presents loaded up." Even though the sack of presents was really, really big and the elves were really, really small, they seemed to have no trouble loading it onto Santa's sleigh. Though how they managed to fit such a big sack onto the little sleigh, even they didn't know, but somehow they did. "Splendid," boomed Santa. "We're ready to go." Not quite, Santa," said the little old elf. "One of our reindeers is missing." "Missing? Which reindeer is missing?" asked Santa. The youngest one, Santa," said the elf. "It's his first flight tonight. I've called him and called him, but—" Just then, a young reindeer strolled up, munching on a large carrot. "Where have you been?" asked Santa. The youngest reindeer was crunching so loudly that it was no wonder he hadn't heard the little old elf calling. "Oh, well, never mind," said Santa. Giving the reindeer a little wink, he took out his Santa nav and tapped in the postcode for North Wales. Santa said, "This will guide us to North Wales in no time," as the reindeer crunched on his carrot. With a flick of the reins and a jerk of the harness, off they went, racing through the sky. "Ho, ho, ho," laughed Santa. "We'll soon have them parcels delivered to wonderful North Wales." Santa's sleigh flew through the starry night, heading south across the North Sea. On they flew in the crisp wintry air, crossing the coast over Scotland in the wink of an eye, and the sleigh was flying above Manchester. And Chester, the youngest reindeer, was very excited. He had never been away from the North Pole before. They were just crossing the River Dee when suddenly they ran into a blizzard. Snowflakes whirled around the sleigh. They couldn't see a thing. The youngest reindeer was getting a bit worried, but Santa didn't seem concerned. "In 2 kilometers, said Santa Nav in a bossy lady's voice. "Keep left at the next star." "But, madam," Santa blustered, "I can't see any stars in this snow." Soon they were hopelessly lost. Then, through the howling blizzard, the youngest reindeer heard a faint ringing sound. Ding-dong, ding-dong, ding-dong. He looked over at the old reindeer with the red nose, but he had his head down. Red nose? I wonder who that could be. Ding-dong, ding-dong. There was that sound again, like church bells ringing. The youngest reindeer turned round to look at Santa, but Santa wasn't listening. He seemed to be arguing with the little box with buttons on it. With a flick of the harness and a jerk of the reins, the youngest reindeer gave a sharp tug and headed off towards the sound of the bells, pulling Santa and his sleigh behind him. "Whoa!" cried Santa, pulling his hat straight. "What's going on?" Then, to his surprise, he heard the ringing sound. "Well done, young reindeer," he shouted cheerfully. "It must be the bells of St. Giles's Church in Wrexham. Don't worry, children, Santa is coming." But suddenly, Crunch! The sleigh hit something as it plummeted through the clouds. You have arrived, said the Santa Nav unhelpfully. Finally, when the snow had died down and the clouds parted, Santa discovered exactly where they were. Stuck right at the very top of the Christmas tree in Queen Square. Everybody pull, yelled Santa. The reindeer pulled with all their might until at last, with a screeching noise, the sleigh scraped clear of the Christmas tree. And Santa steered them over the bus station, past Regent Street and down into Bellevue Park. Luckily, there was no real damage done, but the parcels had been all jumbled up. Santa quickly sorted all the presents into order again. Right, said Santa. Thanks to this young reindeer, I know where we are now. Don't worry, children. Santa is coming. Santa drove his sleigh expertly from rooftop to rooftop, all over North Wales, popping in and out of chimneys as fast as he could go, which was pretty fast for a chubby chap. There were big chimneys in Rhyl, small chimneys in Colwyn Bay. He squeezed down thin chimneys in Llangollen and plummeted down fat chimneys in Carnarvon. The youngest reindeer was amazed at how quickly they went. Santa never seemed to get tired at all, and it looked like children in North Wales were going to be very lucky this year. But the youngest reindeer was starting to feel a bit wary and quite hungry too. In house after house, Santa delved inside his sack of parcels of every shape and size. He piled them under the Christmas trees and carefully filled up stockings with surprises. In house after house, the good children of North Wales had left out a large mince pie, a small glass of something, and a big chunky carrot. Santa took a little bite out of each mince pie, a tiny sip of something, whipped his beard and popped the carrots into his sack. From Bangor to Porthmadog, from Anglesey to Ruthin, from Llandudno to Dolgellau, and all the places in between, Santa and his sleigh visited every house in North Wales. Santa delivered presents to Alfie, Ava, Ben, Brooke, Charlie, Chloe. The list went on and on. Zach, Zara, Zibble. Zibble? Must be a spelling mistake, surely. Finally, Santa had delivered the last present on his long North Wales list. Great moons and stars, sighed Santa. It's past midnight, and my sack seems as heavy as ever. I hope I haven't forgotten anyone. Santa opened his sack to check, but it was full of juicy, crunchy carrots. Santa shared out the carrots between all the reindeer. Well done, lad, he said, patting the youngest reindeer gently on the nose. But the youngest reindeer didn't hear him. He was too busy munching. Then it was time to set off for home. Santa reset his Santa Nav for the North Pole, and soon they were speeding past Portmeirion and over Snowdonia National Park through the crisp, starry night. Ho, 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 laughed Santa. Merry Christmas, North Wales.